Yeah, baby. Hello, everybody. Here we are. It's another edition of Skip Happens. My name is Skip Clark. You got Miss Rea over here on my left, your right. If you're looking at the screen, it's the way it works. And yeah, it's Wednesday. We do this, we try to do it every Wednesday. Sometimes it ends up on a Tuesday.
Or a Thursday.
Or a Thursday, or may not end up at all. But we try to stay, you're so busy. So I just trying to keep up.
Skip. We had to take a few weeks off because you were famous.
Nobody's famous.
No, I'm playing.
Not
I'm
famous.
Playing.
Nah, we just have a good time. It's what we're about. We're about having fun. Had a lot of fun over the weekend, too. Well, to a certain extent. It was not my proudest moment, I might add. I think you were a witness to much of it. Yeah.
I didn't think much of it. I think it was because, I don't know, like you were quick to just move on, and yeah.
Well, I had no choice but to move on. And if you don't know what happened, I effed up big time. This was not a pretty sight. And it's bound to happen because you're only human. I will accept that. But I've been doing this a long time. And I cannot recall the last time that I messed up, like that. So, and I know I'm leading up to it here. Don't worry, it's coming. So, we do a lot of shows, a lot of country shows. A lot of the country artists come in, stop by the Wolf, and we do our thing. And George Burge was in town. He was at Kegs. And the opening act was Highway Home. I almost said it again. But I called him Hometown Home. So
got up on stage and said it.
I did. And I was wondering what everybody's looking at me like my zipper was down or something, which was like, okay, what did I do wrong? What is it? And then I'm going, all right. So I had it on my phone that they were Highway Home. Mm-hmm. My phone went blank because I must have just hit the screen and it went off. I don't know. It did something weird. And I panicked. I did. I don't know if you could. I was probably white as a ghost on that stage. And I kept saying, hey, coming up, in a few minutes, it's going to be Hometown Home. And I hear this, no, and everybody yelling. I go, what? No, it's Hometown. I look over at this guy on the soundboard and he's going.
See me, Skip had brought Grace and I up on stage. Grace is an on-air personality. She also helps out with promotions. I was there for promotions, and Skip graciously let us come up on stage.
It's your job. It's not graciously.
I know. It's cool. It's pretty cool to be able to get up there and do your thing, whether you're speaking or you're just up there
taking
waving,
pictures.
Taking pictures. But I didn't really even notice that it had happened, and when we kind of talked about it, I think that the funniest thing is like Skip was like, no, Reagan, like this really is like, this is a big deal for me. Like this was a lot. And I was like, that's really interesting because, would you say that this concert will like stick with you? And he's like, yeah, definitely. Like that was not good, Reagan. And I was like, well, that's hilarious because the concert's going to stick with me because it was like I had a totally different perspective of that concert and everything that was going on. So yeah, it was really cool.
It was a moment. I've been doing this a long time. It was just one of those things. You know what? And you know me, and I think this is one thing that bothers you about me is the fact that I don't really plan a lot of things out. I am one of those, and maybe you are as well, one of those that says, okay, I got this. I'm going to go do it. You all right? That's how I handle when we do shows. That's how I handle it.
Yeah.
And I was hanging out. Everything was calm. I was cool. Everything was like, all right. And they're like, okay, Skip, we need you on stage. Let's go. All right. I run up there, ready to go and get the crowd pumped up. And ladies and gentlemen, Hometown Home. Shit. That's not the name.
No,
everybody's yelling at me.
No.
Oh my God.
No. Can I ask, were you thinking about it? Were you thinking about kind of as you were getting up there on the stage?
I did. You know what? I will be, if you ever see me on stage for like, we do so many shows in the Northeast, but if you see me on shows doing like what we call it presents, sometimes if you look at my hand, I got a little note on there. It's like, all right, this is, just to remind me. Because sometimes when you look out, I mean, it does, whether you're doing that or maybe you got to be somebody that's got to give a speech. But when you stand in front of people and you look out and you see all these people staring at you, like you're naked or something. It's like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
Your mind
Yeah.
just kind of like goes away. Everything, it's like
Mhm.
short circuits, if that makes sense. But
Yeah.
that's what happened. I
It's a
felt
combination of like shock and an adrenaline rush because you're like, yeah, I got this. And then you're like, oh my gosh, there's so many people right in front
yeah,
of me.
no,
Like
no.
it's like both. And you're like,
Oh my
my
God, it was
gosh,
hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Hello, Jason. Jason Smorrell, our Syracuse Mets general manager, is watching. And
Hi, Jason.
Jason is, I know I don't want to get off on a tangent here, but yeah, it was the most embarrassing thing. Jason, he's in front of people. Every time there's a home game, he's
So
out on
I'm
the
sure
field welcoming the
this
fans.
has possibly happened.
So I'm sure it has, where you just kind of go, holy crap, what happened?
Mhm.
Like, but he's got notes because I
Yeah.
see his clipboard. Me, no, I don't know. It's like, let's do this. But yeah, and by the way, Jason will allow us to go and do the podcast from the stadium. But last
So you
week,
can catch us coming up at the
we're going to
the
work
Mets
that out down the
Stadium.
road.
Yes.
But definitely good stuff.
Yes.
And yeah. So, anyways, getting back to what I was talking about, it was just a moment that I will never forget.
Mhm.
It's, from now until the end of time, I think I'm always going to remember that. And maybe, that day comes and people are paying their respects and I'm laying there and go, I remember when he misspoke.
And said, hometown home.
Hometown. But no, you were asking about, was I thinking about it? I was. And maybe I was overthinking it.
Which to me is very, very interesting hearing coming out of Skip Clark's mouth because I get to do some of these things for the station. I get to interview people sometimes and I love doing that. And when I do that, sometimes I have moments where, I kind of forget or, and then Skip will be like, well, it's because you're thinking about it, Reagan. And I'm like,
yep.
Well,
100%.
I don't know. And then I really thought about it and I was like, you're right. I am thinking about it. So that's what's making me kind of messed up. And in a way, I don't want to. It's almost like like a Freudian slip in a way. It's you're thinking about it or you mean not to say it. And then all of a sudden you're like, it just came out of my mouth.
Jason says, that's sometimes it happens.
Sometimes, exactly.
It is because you're human.
Yeah.
Human. You can be the greatest. Jason's one of the greatest people I know. He's so relaxed when he does it. And if he messes up, he accepts the fact that he said something wrong and he makes it right.
Yeah.
And I might add, yes, I was thinking about it before I went up too much. I remember back in the day, there was a group called Hometown Home. So I don't know where that came from. Well, it must have, because I don't know. It just kind of happened. And here's what else. So, we talk about saying those things.
But I think also kind of not to interrupt, but
no.
I think the response from the artist was great. The artist didn't take it personally
they
at
were
all.
Laughing.
They thought it was
dude,
funny.
You're fine.
And I think if that, the camera's like, let's go to Miss Rea.
No. We'll fix that, but keep talking.
What was I talking about?
You were talking about the
See, I was
artists
thinking about what I was going to talk about.
Yeah, see?
And then I just forgot. So it just happened.
It did just happen. And I don't know what just happened, but we're going to move this back. I don't know what just happened, but we'll figure it out. Just keep talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm working on it.
It was the artist's response was very affirming. I think they didn't really think anything of it and we were able to laugh about it. So I think as long as nobody takes it personal or if they had taken it personally and the response was different, that would have been really.
All right. I don't know what's going on here. You don't need me on camera.
I can be the star of the show, Skip. Don't worry.
It's all you. It's all you. But we just keep talking. I'll figure this out. But Hometown Home was a band from a long time ago. I don't know where that came from. And I was going to go on to say that working in radio, that because of the different radio stations, I know why that happened. Huh? Hang on.
What happened?
Don't worry. We got it covered. Hang on.
There it goes.
Hang on. We're going. Just taking a little bit of time. Here we go. Oh, I got to do this. I know this is crazy. This is when Skip happens. And because apparently, look, I'm creeping up on you. It's not the word to use. But there we are. We're back. We're back.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So we're good. We're good.
So what I was saying was working in radio and working in a lot of different radio stations. Always here in Central New York, though. I had opportunities to move on. That's another whole podcast. But the fact is, I can remember going on the air and opening my mouth and saying the call letters from a station I worked at 10 years before. And it's like, where did that come from? You know what I mean? It's like, what did I just said, and I haven't been there in how many
That's funny
years?
you say that. Do
It
you want to
happens,
know?
though. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a funny story for me. We had somebody come to the station and they were talking about how they were referencing like another person that we had networked with whose name was Catherine.
Okay.
And they were like, oh my gosh, you know Catherine? And I turned to her and I was like, Catherine O'Hara? Like I said it with my chest. And then she was like, no, like the person, like Catherine, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh my
Oh, yeah.
gosh, like I have no idea why Catherine O'Hara popped in my head. But it's
But it
funny,
just
like you
does.
just like, and then we laughed about it because we're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, no, so true.
Yeah.
And yes, okay, I was embarrassed.
But it happened.
But it happens, and I was cool with
Yeah.
it though. At the same time, so between acts, I went out and said hello to the guys. They were out at the merch table and they were signing autographs. How Highway Home was, and they looked at me. We just laughed. We got a good picture, and you know what? And I ended up grabbing a shirt that said "Home Highway Home." I almost did it again, and I wore that on stage when I went up to introduce George. So, and so right there, I'm accepting my screw up, all right, and making fun of myself, but in a good way. You know what I mean? It's not, hey, you know,
you're not hurting anybody. You're drawing light to it, which I think is very
right.
I think that's really cool to be able to do that. Like, if you can laugh at your own jokes, like, come on.
We do that all day.
That's awesome. We love that.
Yeah, we do. How many times do we laugh at ourselves during the day? I mean, you're over in your office. I'm usually in the studio and working on things, but still, there's those moments where, oh, I did that. Oops. Like, for example, I did something on my own yesterday, and the wolf happened to be off the air for a few hours. Now, it wasn't, I did not cause it to go off the air. I caused it to not come back on right away. So we had to get that fixed, but we did.
Which is so crazy.
But it's like, I did it. I'm sorry. And he's the boss, the engineer was like, no, you didn't. It's somebody else's fault. It's not your fault. I said, no, it's my fault. I'm the one that flipped the switch. And now, but I felt terrible. But anyways, yeah.
But you saved the day. You got it. In radio, it's one of those things where like, you got to do what you got to do in order to get the job done. And I know I've learned that. Like I was doing graphic design the past couple of days for our logos and stuff. And I was like, I only took maybe one class how to use this software. And I'm like in the service, like, you know how there's like a search bar, like you can search within the service and be able to like ask it questions, how to find things. Yeah, that's been my best friend the past couple of days because the job just has to be done, Google or whatever.
You learn from that.
And you won't make that mistake again.
Plus, if you don't know, you can go to YouTube. It'll tell you anything you want to know.
Yeah.
It'll tell you how to do everything. It might even teach me how to announce. So.
Oh my gosh. It was that one slip up. Let's not draw attention to it because maybe you might do it again and we don't want that to happen again.
No.
Do you think it could happen?
Yes.
Let's not jinx it.
No, let's not. It could happen again, though. It could happen again.
It could, possibly.
Mm-hmm. Possibly.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm thinking like, it's really interesting to me. Earlier I mentioned like, we had two different perspectives of this event. You were a nervous Nelly because you had embarrassed yourself in front of all these people. And for me, I was on top of the world because this was one of the shows where I had people that were really close to me be able to come to that. And I got to show people from like my hometown, like kind of what I do. And, and they were like in awe. They're like, you actually do this? Like, this is really what you do? And I'm like, yeah. And I don't think that they had gone to a show like that where it was intimate, because the venue was.
Let me ask, were they country fans?
Yes. So which is really interesting is like they make fun of me. They're like, how can
because you are not.
I'm not the biggest. They definitely
you're learning
do.
Though. You're getting
yeah, I'm getting there.
Okay.
Yeah. But they're more into that stuff, into country and
that's cool.
And like some of the songs. So it was, or they have family members that resonate with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was really cool. But to just see like one of their friends, like they're like, what are you going to be doing? And I'm like, I'm just going to be everywhere. Like I bounce around these places. Like I'm all over the place taking pictures. I go from one side to the other side. Like that's really what I do. And they were like, that's just so they saw it, you know what I mean? They got to see like the work that you do. And I'm sure like you can resonate with that where like, you know, having people there kind of just supporting and being like, oh my gosh, like this is really what you do, who don't normally get to see you in your element, I guess is really cool.
It is cool. It is cool. I love what I do.
It's a show that's going to stick with me as well for the opposite reason, you know, the other side of the coin. But,
you know, someday we're going to be going, Reagan, do you remember that day
George
back
Burge.
in 26, George Burge? You remember George, right? Look at him now. He's a superstar. But remember when he came to Kegs?
And he put on a good performance.
Gosh.
And I think one thing that's really cool too is George Burge is one of those artists where the first time I saw him live was at the Wildcat, which is a very, very small,
very intimate
venue. And then Kegs is a little bit bigger. You know, there's a stage you can kind of show off your moves versus the Wildcat. And then, so it was really cool to be able to see George Burge be able to really put on a performance. Not saying that he didn't do that at the Wildcat,
he was with the full band too.
That too.
So it's kind of a different.
It's a
feel.
different, yeah.
Yeah.
And the instrumental that he had, I was like, wow, George, this
guy can play.
Yeah, he did really, really good.
Nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
Nice guy.
That too, nice guy. Talented, but also very, very nice.
Yeah, really down to earth.
Yeah.
Says hello to everybody. I know you ladies were putting your purses in the green room, and it's like, okay, where'd they go? It's like, and Grace comes out. Oh, they're really cute. Oh my gosh! All right, we got a job to do here, ladies. But yeah, how funny. How funny. Good stuff.
Funny. It is fun. It is fun. It's a lot of fun to be able to, and I think that's another thing that really will stick with me is we had a really good group of people that work for us that were out there, you know what I mean? Like our promotions girls. So the group that was representing, I just had so much fun. It was amazing to be able to
I am laughing because I'm watching these notes come in, and Jason says, I thought you were talking about George Burns, the way old comedian. No, it's George Burge. B-I-R-G-E. I know somebody, maybe it's the way I say it. I don't know. But you're so used to, George Burns. I get it.
Mm-hmm. It does kind of sound the same.
It does.
Try to say Burns and Burge 5 times fast.
Burns and Burge. Burns and Burge. I can't. Do it. You try it.
Burns and Burge. Burns and Burge.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's nearly impossible.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. But talking about music, because we have so many different tastes in music. I mean, we have 2 different tastes right here. And you're coming on board with the country. I get it. You almost have to because you're hearing it a lot. You're also hearing a lot of the classics that, our Dinosaur plays. And of course, I know you're a big fan of the beat. So, which is more hip hop rhythmic. But we were talking before we went out with the lights and the cameras and all that. You mentioned somehow Genesis came up, the group Genesis. Yes. And I went, Genesis? And you went, I just started listening to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then the funny story is, go ahead, tell everyone. I love this.
Yeah, because this is funny. So this past weekend, I had went out with friends. I went, we went out to a bar. We went and got frozen yogurt the following day. And in both of these outings, I heard a Genesis song and I was like, wow, Genesis is just following me. I have to listen to this. But as I was listening, I was like, man, the singer of Genesis sounds like Phil Collins. He sounds just like Phil Collins. And so I went home as one does. And I asked my mom and I said, Mom, am I crazy? Or does the singer of Genesis sound like Phil Collins? And she starts laughing and she's like, so that is Phil Collins. And I was like, no. And she's like, yeah, that's Phil Collins. And I was like, I knew it. And it was so funny.
The latter part of the 80s into the 90s. I mean, that was before your time.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. And what I'm getting at, I mean, he had all these great songs, In the Air Tonight, Against All Odds, Another Day in Paradise, You'll Be in My Heart. Phil Collins sang that.
See, that's funny you mentioned You'll Be in My Heart because I think that is from the Tarzan soundtrack, actually. And
yes.
Tarzan, the soundtrack for Tarzan is Phil Collins. So I think that that's really why Phil Collins' voice really sticks out to me is because I'm a Disney child. Okay. I grew up on the Disney princesses, on that. So Tarzan was obviously in the rotation, and like I just loved Tarzan. So
Sorry, I was readjusting something on the table. Just because
we had to bring our guest just a little bit higher.
And I had to put him on a pedestal because, and we'll talk about that here in a few minutes. But
Yes.
And Jason, hold on, because I want you in on that conversation because we put Scooch on the pedestal. But you know, the memories and the music that Genesis put out there. I grew up listening to Genesis. I mean, I started working in radio when they came on. No, actually, I started before then. Oh my goodness, yeah, long before then. Wow, never mind.
Moving on.
I just had a moment.
Moving
a
on.
moment. Yes, had a moment. Oh man, hello Roger. Thanks for having us on. But Genesis is one of those groups. You know, Phil Collins is not healthy. You know that, right? He's not doing well at all. As a matter of fact, I think he's in a wheelchair. If I'm not mistaken, I'll have to look it up. But,
I think that he correct me if I'm wrong. Was he indicted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, or was Genesis?
They might have been.
I think
I really don't.
Something about. I recently saw Billboard pictures of him, and I saw that he wasn't doing too well. I think that his voice is one of those voices that like is very original. You know what I mean?
He's in 24-hour care with a living nurse.
Really?
Yeah, it's so sad.
How old is he?
He is, I don't know if it says it here. Hang on, I'll look it up. Unless somebody watching already knows.
But yeah, that's funny you mentioned that, because if we want to, I'm exploring, I guess, a lot of artists because we do listen to the Dinosaur and they do have the classic. Like another artist that I'm kind of getting into is like, I like Pat Benatar sometimes.
Wow, yeah. So
I recently added a Journey song and it felt like a big deal. But I don't know. I think it's because like Journey people are like ride or die.
That's true. No.
Is that wrong? I think that Journey. Correct me if I'm wrong,
you
Skip.
You said it. No, I'm not saying it. Phil Collins was born in 51. So that would make him 75 years old.
75.
75. You know, today's standards, that's pretty young.
That is young.
You know what I mean? It's pretty young. Pretty young. Absolutely. But we're talking about this music. And the reason I brought that up was because of who you are. And I know we've talked about music a lot on this podcast, but the fact is who you are. And it seems like you're being introduced to a lot of new music. And knowing you the way I know you now and how you collect vinyl and you want those albums and just groups, I'd be going, you got what? You're listening to what? So really, you're turning heads. I think that's cool. And it goes to show you that this music, I've always said there's like a 20-year cycle. Music every 20 years.
I agree with that. But I also think like, I know some artists draw emphasis to this too. And I firmly believe this is that some artists walk so that others can run, if that makes sense.
Oh,
They lay a foundation, they lay a standard so that the next group or the next generation of artists can almost step up, you know, or become the next. I think that's why people compare modern day artists to Dolly Parton or to other, you know, like country kind of drawing comparisons is because like you just want to be the better version and evolve. But yeah.
So are there any other, let's say, groups from that time frame that you are starting to really take a liking to? I mean, like groups like Def Leppard.
I haven't listened to Def Leppard yet. I might have to go in my playlist.
Guns N' Roses?
No.
Metallica?
I do. Oh, remember I added that Stampeder song?
Yes. Okay.
And I was
Sweet
like,
City Woman.
Yes. And I was and I had you and our
Miss
friend
Rea, that's from like the 70s.
Still, I had never heard that song.
But it's one of those that caught your attention.
It did.
And see, that's what music does. It never gets old. It's all about life.
I got Holding Out for Hero, Bonnie Tyler.
Oh
that's actually closer to the 80s, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, Bonnie Tyler. Oh my gosh. I can't think of the song. Foreigner. All right, Lou Gramm was with Foreigner. And Lou Gramm is living in Rochester. But he's no longer with Foreigner unless they do a reunion type of thing. But, you know, just like Journey, they went out and got another lead vocalist. Probably found him on YouTube or Twitter or TikTok or something. So yeah. So
I think that's really it. I do
okay.
like to
Okay, I
listen
get
to
it.
like 80s, 90s, like
You're getting it. I like it.
yeah.
Yeah. So are you going to be at the big show? They're talking about what, the Chris Brown show? What?
Oh yeah, Chris Brown and Usher are coming up. I mean, I'm excited about a lot of shows this summer. Um for the beat, you know, we have like Kid Cudi coming up, Chris
Yeah.
Brown, Usher. Um, the baby was supposed to perform on April 17th, but that got pushed back to the 16th. I'm excited about those, but I'm also I'm just excited about everything really. I don't know if it's because like I'm kind of comfortable in everything that's going on, but
Like
like
it.
I really have no complaints, you know, like whether it's the dinosaur and going and helping them with the crawfish festival, which I'm so excited about. I've never gone to the Syracuse Crawfish Festival. Um,
Do you eat crawfish?
I don't. I want them to rip it apart and
What
take
do
it
they call
apart.
it? Something shuck and suck. I think they.
I
No,
think that
I'm
yeah,
serious. I think it's called. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's called shuck and suck.
which is like
Okay,
also the grossest point.
but
Like
I can't
point
do
of
that.
it is like,
I love lobster, but I can't eat the crawfish. I'm just thinking about
don't worry,
Oh
Skip. There'll
no,
be other options
no.
there. They have a
I've been there.
variety.
I know.
Yeah,
I've
I
been there.
haven't been. I'm so excited about that, and I'm excited about country concerts. I think everyone's talking about Jelly
I know the
Roll, and
country show's
that's
coming up. We got Jelly Roll. We've got Tim McGraw just up the road. And the same night as McGraw, we've got Ella
Ella
Langley.
Langley.
So, and she's right at her prime right now. So, I mean, just crazy stuff. Oh, okay. Jason says he's got to go. But all right, I got you, Jason. Great checking in. Good seeing you. We were going to ask, what is Scooch? Quickly, what is Scooch? Is he a dog? What is Scooch? I mean, we know he's the mascot for our wonderful Syracuse Mets, who, by the way, are kicking ass right now. Well, I think they lost this afternoon, but last night's game was 12-3. So, hey, we won a lot of home
Hey.
runs. But what is Scooch? What do you think Scooch is? I mean, look at him.
I don't know, Skip. I mean, minutes
Look, he's
before,
talking to you.
minutes before
Okay.
we were live, you informed me that the Syracuse orange is an actual orange. Like that's
Yeah,
real.
that's Otto.
See,
Otto the orange.
I thought it was like the color. Like I didn't really think it was an actual orange. I guess I never thought that. So I don't want to assume anything. I don't
Okay.
want to.
Jason just gave us an answer.
Scooch is Scooch.
There you go.
Thank you,
Jason.
and I think
I
that
love you,
that's
bro.
the same with Otto.
Not an animal.
He's an entity all of
Anyone
himself.
knows. That's it. 100%. I love that. I love that.
I like that too.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
That's Scooch. Scooch is great. Jason, thank you. You're the best. Have a
Yeah,
good night.
and I think I like that point was made. I like that for a mascot, you can just have the mascot be itself.
Yeah.
Like it
I
doesn't
guess.
need to be
Yeah.
like.
Does it have? You're right. Does it have to be?
Does it have to be anything? Because like we're the wolf and the dinosaur. So like,
Yeah. Well, we have a
Do you-
dinosaur costume. We have the wolf costume.
don't say that, Skip. We have the dinosaur and Howler.
Sorry.
Remember, radio is the theater of the mind.
Just playing the crickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. And you were talking about Otto the Orange. I
Mhm.
like how we transition from one thing to another here. But with the mascots, and Otto the Orange is an orange because of the Syracuse orange. And you never knew that.
Like
So-
I guess I did and I didn't. I think it's just called ignorance. Like blissful ignorance. Like
Well-
I acknowledged that it was circular and orange and maybe could be an orange, but I didn't think it was an orange.
From what I understand,
Does that make sense?
it makes no sense. It made no sense at all.
Okay.
But I loved it.
Yeah, it's kind of I guess
And
I
you-
thought it was like just an orange puffball. Like it's kind of like a Scooch situation. Like Otto is Otto.
True. I
He's
thought
not
I
an-
had an
he's
Otto.
just
I don't have
orange.
an Otto here. I thought I did. You're right. He's orange. He's an orange.
Yeah, I thought he was just
But you know, one thing like with Otto, and I know even with Scooch, nobody knows. You know, you don't.
And I think that that's the whole point of a mascot
Nobody
is to kind
knows.
of create this illusion that it's
Mhm,
a
mhm.
it's a personality all in and of themselves.
One thing I don't like about Scooch, the cowbell, because
I
he
don't
comes
know.
out with the cowbell. I'm going to get you to a game.
Okay.
All right, it is.
See,
It's
my
just
brain,
me.
just because you said cowbell, now I'm thinking of SNL. Sorry.
we
I can't help
we
it.
need more cowbell.
We need more cowbell.
But if you go to a Mets game, and we hope you do, because we will be there on occasion. I'm there almost every game, and also on the PA every once in a while, but as a backup. But it's just a fun thing for me to do, and I love everybody in that stadium. We're like a family there. You know, isn't it cool? You can go to work just like we do every day. Let's talk about going to work. Let's transition into that. What we go to work, and it's not like, oh, I'm going to work. This sucks. No, it's like I'm ready to go. We're going to have a great day.
I'm
I love this is
so
my family away from my family. Well, family can also be a pain, but I'm just saying.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean because, like, I'm very lucky right now where like I just love going to work. Like I do. I love being able to go to work. Um being able to go to that place and be able to do what I do. Like it's really a dream, you know what I mean?
But it's
Uh,
not like a corporate situation,
no.
and no place should be.
Yeah.
And you get the recognition that you deserve when you do something. We were talking about that today. And I do know for a fact that Jason Smorrell, who leads this huge bunch of young men and women at the ballpark. I mean, there's hundreds of people
Mhm.
that work there during the peak of the season. And anybody, he shouts them out. He gives them the recognition they need. He gives them a
Mhm.
pat on the back. And it's like us when we go to work. That's what happens. We get that too sometimes. Did I just roll my eyes?
I think
What?
you
I'm
did, but I
kidding.
was going to say like I don't know, the idea of a pat on the back is really interesting cuz I don't know, like sometimes do you prefer like the self gratification, like the feeling that you did it yourself, or do you like when other people
Well, I mean,
like, does that make sense? Like what kind of hits harder is when you're like, man, cuz like for me, like I enjoy when people tell me like I do a good job, but when I know that I did a good job and at the end of the day, like I'm proud of that, it just hits a little
it's different.
different. Yeah.
Yeah. And, if we do a good job, I do something, I work hard at it, and it comes out good. I'm very happy. I'm very proud of
Mhm.
myself. But it's also the point where if you did something that really, not only for you, but for, let's say, the whole company as a whole, you think somebody would come by and go, hey, you know what, Miss Ray? That was great. That was great.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
that's when it really make you feel good.
It does.
I get off the air every day and go, all right, yeah, I had a lot of fun today.
Yeah.
So, and that's what
Yeah.
I do. That's my fun.
That
You know,
is your
you can come in and sit in the studio someday when I'm doing my show. You probably would never be the same because I get all like wacky on the air and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny you say that cuz the Becky and I like to pick on Skip when he's doing his his on air time cuz you just get into it, you know, and you I don't know.
Well, it's
And I get it cuz like I've also, you know,
you
was
can't
given the
just sit there and
opportunity.
go,
Yeah, it
yeah,
just
this
doesn't
is
sound
blah,
the
blah, blah, blah.
same.
But you
You
go,
have to be
hey, 92.1 The Wolf, you know what? It's coming out of my smile file, and we got the dad joke of the day, and blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah.
you have the emotion and you have the excitement. So when you hear me on the air doing that, I'm actually like bouncing off the
He
walls.
really is. Like
Yeah,
yeah.
bouncing off the walls. I don't know. Something just flashed up there a minute. So I was just like going, what's going on now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what it's about.
Mhm.
That's what it's about. So, and we're going to get you on the air more too. And you loosen up and you just kind of,
Yeah.
be yourself, have
Yeah.
some fun, listen to Genesis.
Feeling yeah. And just being confident, you know, and taking advantage of all the opportunities that are given to you. Something that somebody said to me yesterday actually was like if something's offered to you like something Bill Gates once said is like the reason some people won't get far in life or don't get as far as they would like to is because they don't take advantage of the things that are offered to them.
Hmm,
You know what I mean?
true.
So like I think that kind of goes back to what she was saying, where like you should just have fun and take advantage of the opportunities that
Yeah.
bring you peace of mind and bring you happiness.
No, 100%. It's like my mind's going like, it's being registered in this old mind of mine.
That was a bar. That was a bar.
That was a bar.
Yeah, like that was a line.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh boy. Okay.
Sorry,
Gotcha.
I hit him with the lingo.
Is that what that was? I'm going, okay, that was a bar?
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Am
a bar.
I missing something? So
that was a bar. Isn't that?
it was a bar.
It was a bar.
It was a bar. It was pretty dope.
There we go.
Right?
Now he's on the same wavelength. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. What about we talk about those things and we've talked about this a little bit before, but like why 6'7"?
See, you can't ask me that
Okay.
because I don't even understand that one. I try to. I think it's just like he's looking it up. I'm not.
I'm looking up something else.
I don't know. I don't think it really means anything. Do you know?
Okay, wait a minute. This is going to be interesting.
This is going to be good.
So we were talking about this the other day. It's going to help me bring it up a little bit. But somebody said it was 420, April 20th. 420 is a referral to pot, to marijuana. All right. So then somebody said, how did that phrase ever come about? Do you know how it came about? No? You weren't there for the conversation? I don't know.
wasn't there.
No, you weren't? Well, okay. So I'm going to tell you what I found out because I just brought it back up on my computer. 420 became popular as slang for marijuana because of a group of California high school friends called the Waldos. In 1971, they used 420 as a code word for meeting after school at 4:20 p.m. to smoke and look for abandoned cannabis patch near Point Reyes. All right. It spread beyond their friend group through the Grateful Dead crisis. You remember the Grateful Dead?
Mm-hmm.
You do?
I do.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure you can ask a lot of people about the Grateful
I
Dead.
actually have a cousin who is in a band.
Was he a deadhead?
No, he's in a band that like currently in a band for Grateful Dead. Like he does.
I love it.
Renditions of Grateful Dead.
I love that stuff. Love that stuff. It was a big part of my life. All right. So as a friend through the Grateful Dead circles, they got a big boost when a 1980 flyer invited people to gather on April 20th at 4:20 p.m. And a reporter connected to High Times saw it, and the magazine helped popularize the term.
Yeah.
So that's how it all came about. Yeah, so that's how. So the simple answer is 420 started as a private meetup code, then turned into a cannabis culture symbol and an unofficial holiday on April 20th. I don't remember it being a holiday, but but I hear
to some people it might be a holiday.
Well, they think it's a holiday.
Yeah. So they celebrate.
I'm sure they do.
So they celebrate.
It's like skunk. Anyways, we'll just leave it at that. Yeah, been there, done that. Yeah, way back. We won't go
Oh
there.
my gosh, let's not.
Let's not. Oh, so yep, here we are. It's been another week. It's we've had a lot of fun. Anything else in your journal there?
I didn't have anything else in the journal.
But good conversation. I like this. And if you can relate, we would love to hear from you. You can comment on this. It's always posted. It's always there. If you give it a listen, give us a comment. Or what would you like us? What would you like to know about us? You want to know about what I do or what she does, or maybe certain shows, or I should write a book. And,
you should.
And talking, well, you know what? I'm going to get criticized for changing it up here a little bit when we go through this.
I actually was just thinking about, I know exactly what you're about to say, and I'm really glad that you're going to speak about this on the topic of book, right?
In the book yesterday?
Yes.
Yes. So what was the name of the book is What Happened to Your Hair, I believe.
Or What Happened to His Hair?
No, I think it was What Happened to Your Hair. Something like it's Matthew and Gunnar Nelson. They are the twin sons of Ricky Nelson and also the grandsons of Ozzie and Harriet Nelson. I interviewed Gunnar yesterday because they're going to come to town and do a show. But they wrote a book this Saturday. Yeah. I don't know when you're going to be watching this, but it's coming up this Saturday, which would be the 24th, I believe. So
or 25th.
Is it the
I
25th?
believe it's the
Okay.
25th.
Well, it's
It
this.
doesn't
It's
matter.
whatever
It's
that
this
is.
weekend.
So, the book is called What Happened to Your Hair, I believe. But what it is if you got Love and Affection, 1990, big hit, right at the top of the charts. They were rockers. They were up against, oh my God, just Slaughter and all these big heavy rock bands that were like killing it. MTV was there. It was crazy. But they had Love and Affection. That was the first big hit. They had others as well. But Ricky Nelson, who was a rocker way back in the day, way back. Even probably, I don't know, I must have been knee high to a grasshopper then. I like that
Okay.
phrase.
No,
In other words, I was little.
I have not heard that one.
That's my dad told me. But the thing
Yeah,
is,
grasshopper.
they had to do a show. I believe it was New Year's Eve, and they were all going to fly to the show. Well, their father, they had bought a DC-3. You have to watch the interview. It's posted on our website and our YouTube page. But they had a DC-3. They were flying down. The father called him and said, "Don't get on the plane. Don't get on the plane." You know what happened? His dad and all the band members died in the plane crash, and it was on New Year's Eve. So there was something there. His dad, they believe that, Ricky said, "Don't get on the plane," and did that for a reason.
They just got to check out the interview.
Yeah,
I was able
yeah,
to sit
yeah.
in on it, and it made hairs on every hair on my arm stick up. Like, it was just crazy to hear him say, like, because Skip was like, "Do you know why? Like, was there ever a mention?"
Wow.
And Gunner's just like, like, I don't know if it was an intuition or if he knew.
Right.
No, I don't know. It is a phenomenal interview.
Yeah, and before, we'll leave on that note, but please go and check it out, because if you want to know anything about the music industry and the business, especially back then, and I'll tell you, it was cutthroat. And there's a lot of stuff we didn't see, a lot of stuff that was going on with MTV that, he talks about it. You'll have to watch it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was a great interview. I was so proud of him. That was the moment where
you
I walked
were proud
out
of yourself.
and you walked into the studio right in the middle of it, and it was fine that you did.
I actually felt awful.
No,
I had no
I'm like,
idea
what the hell
you were
is she doing in here?
I know.
No,
I was
no,
like,
no.
shit.
It's all good. No, it was
Yeah,
all
I was
good.
like,
You're
oh,
welcome
no.
anytime. And I was actually kind of glad you came in so you could see what
I walked in at a really good time. He was talking about the industry and having to, shift gears almost, like having to shift with the music industry and the competitors. And then I was able to sit on the story.
He was
with
up
his
against
father.
what? What'd you say? What'd you hear him? Donna Summer?
Yeah, that name really stuck out to me. I just was like, Donna Summer.
Because they went through that whole disco era.
And
they were part of that.
Oh, yes, that's what he was
and
talking about.
You'll hear about it if you listen to it. And I really hope you do. It's a great interview. We're going to leave on that note. Just real quickly, Mike, good to see you. Right back at you, Chief. Zach is doing fine. He's upstairs on his computer watching the Mets game, probably losing. But the Mets are losing. Whatever.
Don't say that. They're winning.
Let's hope. They're 12 in a row. They've lost 12 in a row. This is not a good moment for us.
That's okay. They're bound for a high moment. Sometimes we have low moments. We do embarrassing things.
Right.
We do
we gotta
things.
Go. We're not going to talk about that. We got to go.
Okay.
We'll let it go because
he's done.
We're done. We're done. We're over. Thanks for watching, everybody. It Skip Happens. We went over a lot tonight. Those moments where you get embarrassed to, talking about the music industry, talking about some of the difference between us again when it comes to music and what you're discovering. And I'm so proud of you and just the way everything is working. So make sure you give us a like, a subscribe, and make sure you post if you watch it afterwards. Just let us know. Say, hey, I watched this. That's all I want to know. You can let us know what you think as well. All right. So thank you for watching, everybody. And it's been another edition of Skip Happens, Miss Rea.
Till next time.
Again, you're right up there, too. See that? That's it.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah. And then you're...